You're special. You've been chosen. The island awaits you.
The story begins with Lincoln 6 Echo waking up from a disturbing dream. After a global contamination, humanity has been wiped out. The survivors live in a pristine underground facility with strict rules. Everyone wears identical white suits, men and women are kept separate, physical contact is forbidden, and everyone must follow a rigid diet. Every day there's a lottery where the winner gets to go to the island, the last uncontaminated place on Earth. Everyone celebrates when someone wins, dreaming of their chance to reach this paradise. But Lincoln 6 Echo is different. Unlike everyone else who accepts their situation without question, Lincoln is plagued by vivid dreams where he's sailing on a yacht called Renovation with a beautiful woman. He's constantly asking questions that make the facility's director, Dr. Merrick, uncomfortable. Lincoln works in one of the facility's sectors, administering special nutrients through tubes that supposedly go into their food supply. He's also attracted to Jordan 2 Delta, though romantic relationships are strictly forbidden in the facility. During a meeting with Dr. Merrick, Lincoln expresses his frustration with the rules and draws the yacht from his dreams. Merrick tries to convince him that he's lucky to be alive and that he'll eventually get to go to the island. When Lincoln asks why Merrick himself doesn't go, the director explains that staff members can't win the lottery, they must stay to take care of the survivors. Concerned about Lincoln's unusual behavior, Dr. Merrick orders a brain scan, using tiny robots inserted through his eye. Meanwhile, Lincoln enters the technical sector facility using a tri-key which was handed to him by a personnel back in his work area. He looks for McCord, a man who works there, and befriends him. After talking to McCord, Lincoln discovers something impossible: a living moth. This confuses him because all life on Earth is supposed to be extinct. After another disturbing dream, he suspects that something is wrong, so he takes the insect back to the technical sector that night. That day, Jordan 2 Delta wins the lottery. While she's celebrating, Lincoln follows the moth after releasing it. He enters a hospital facility where he's not allowed and finds a nurse uniform to wear as a disguise. Lincoln then witnesses something that changes everything. A pregnant woman who had recently won the lottery is killed by lethal injection immediately after giving birth. Her baby is handed over to another woman who looks exactly like the deceased woman. He also stumbles upon a man crying and running for his life, but was then captured by the securities. He instantly recognizes this man as he's the winner of the previous lottery. Lincoln realizes that winning the lottery doesn't mean going to paradise. It means actual death. He's scared. A security notices him hiding. Luckily, the security doesn't recognize him and checks if he's okay. Lincoln rushes to find Jordan and tries to warn her, but she doesn't understand what he's saying. Dr. Merrick then discovers that Lincoln is missing and tracks him through security cameras. When the securities arrive to capture them, Lincoln manages to convince her to escape with him. An alert goes out claiming that Lincoln 6 Echo has been contaminated and poses a biohazard to everyone in the facility. Chaos began as they run through the facility's sectors. While escaping, they fall and unexpectedly stumbles upon a facility filled with rows of capsules containing humans that's being grown artificially. They proceed to run away and eventually reach the surface. Outside, they see only desert, no signs of the contamination or destruction they were told about. They realize the entire story about the global contamination was a lie. Meanwhile, Dr. Merrick explains the truth to Lauren, a Department of Defense agent who has invested heavily in the project. The facility houses clones created from wealthy clients' DNA using advanced technology that allows them to skip childhood development. In just 12 months, they have fully grown clones that can serve as organ donors or surrogate mothers. To avoid ethical concerns, clients are told that the clones exist in a vegetative state with no consciousness or ability to feel pain. However, organs from unconscious clones proved to be defective, so they had to create the elaborate story about global contamination and move the clones to an old military bunker where they could live normally until needed. Dr. Merrick informs Lauren that one of their clients, Sarah Jordan, needs an organ transplant urgently, but her clone has escaped with Lincoln. Lauren's team begins searching for the fugitives via helicopter. Meanwhile, Lincoln and Jordan find their way to a bar using the matchbox that McCord gave to Lincoln. Lincoln asks the bartender for McCord and finds him in the comfort room reading a magazine. Lincoln then confronts McCord, demanding for explanations. McCord takes them to his home and reveals the full truth. There was no global contamination, they are clones of wealthy people, and winning the lottery means their sponsor needs an organ transplant. Each clone is programmed with one of 12 backstories to give them a reason to live. Lincoln is special, he's part of a new model that can access his sponsor's memories and skills. McCord explains that if they can reach their sponsors, Dr. Merrick will be in serious trouble for violating numerous laws. McCord gives them civilian clothes to wear and helps them find their sponsors' addresses. While traveling to the train station, Lauren's team tracks them using the tiny robots injected to Lincoln. At the train station, Lincoln goes to the comfort room and urinates painfully due to the tiny robots coming out from his body. McCord then hands the tickets he buys for them to go to Los Angeles, but Lauren's team are already there and spotted them. McCord warns them to run and he's shot by one of Lauren's agents. Lincoln and Jordan escape to a freight train, with Jordan using a pneumatic tool to injure one of their pursuers. In Los Angeles, they use an information terminal to find their sponsors' addresses, but using McCord's credit card alerts both police and Merrick's agents to their location. During the chase, Lauren attacks the police car transporting Lincoln and Jordan, allowing them to escape on a stolen hoverbike. Back at the facility, Dr. Merrick questions one of Lincoln's friends, who also begins asking too many questions. Merrick decides to eliminate him and orders a list of all potentially problematic clones for termination. Lincoln and Jordan reach Tom Lincoln's house and use a retinal scanner to enter. The real Lincoln initially attacks them, thinking they're burglars, but stops when he sees his own face. Lincoln explains the truth about the clones, and Tom reveals that he's terminally ill with liver failure. Tom removes their tracking bracelets, and Lincoln notices the blueprint of the Renovation yacht, the same one from his dreams. The clones ask Tom to help them expose Merrick's operation, and Tom agrees to take them to a news station. However, Tom betrays them. He calls the company and reports that his insurance policy is sitting in his living room. An extraction team is dispatched immediately. Jordan senses something is wrong and stays behind while Tom and Lincoln leaves for the news station. On the way, Tom pulls a gun on Lincoln, but Lauren's team arrives and a chase began. After a car accident, both Tom and Lincoln are on foot, and Lauren can't tell which is the sponsor and which is the clone. Lincoln secretly places the tracking bracelet on Tom's wrist, and Lauren mistakenly kills Tom, thinking he's the clone. Lincoln returns home where he and Jordan share their first kiss. At the facility, Dr. Merrick discovers that several generations of clones have developed consciousness and orders their destruction through mass winnings. Lincoln receives a call from the corporation asking him to come in for a scan to create a new clone. Learning that an entire batch of clones is about to be eliminated, he and Jordan devise a plan to save them. Lincoln plans to infiltrate the facility and disable the hologram projectors that maintain the illusion of the destroyed world around the structure. Jordan goes to the park but is spotted by agents using McCord's credit card and taken back to the facility. Upon arrival, Jordan escapes using a hidden gun that Lincoln had given her. Lauren discovers through his conversation with Merrick that Jordan will be killed even though her sponsor can no longer be saved, which disturbs him. When doctors examine Tom's body, they discover the tracking bracelet is placed on the wrong wrist and realize the clone is still alive. Meanwhile, Lincoln infiltrates the sector where the fake destruction imagery is broadcast while clones who won the lottery are being led to incineration chambers. Lauren, who despises Merrick for treating the clones as subhuman, decides to help Jordan save the other clones. Lincoln goes to the Forbidden Sector to disconnect the breaker that could trigger extreme fan speed and interrupt whole operation of the facility, but Dr. Merrick was there and shot him from behind. Lincoln was down and quickly grabs a tool that has chain in it and drops Merrick. They fight, and Merrick initially gains the upper hand. Just as he's about to kill Lincoln, Lincoln manages to shoot him in the throat with the weapon Merrick used to shot him. Lincoln grabs and chokes Merrick. An explosion occurs and destroys the hologram system. Both Lincoln and Merrick were held by the wire from the weapon, but Merrick died in the end. For the first time, the clones see the real world beyond their underground prison. They climb to the surface and look around in wonder at the sky and landscape they've never seen before. The movie ends with Lincoln and Jordan sailing away on the Renovation yacht, finally living the dream that was implanted in Lincoln's memory, free to start a new life in the real world.